got Phillips screws all the way around this. So take a Phillips screwdriver here. We've got our cables coming in here and our choke here. Now they do that so that, and they put this rubber cap on here so that it'll keep any debris or water from going in there. The other thing that you want to look at here is a rubber cap, and you won't be able to see it very good until I pop it off there. But this rubber cap is how you can pull that carburetor off so you're not having to pull all these covers off. So we've got this cover here that seals up that carburetor here. We've got the assembly here. Now that rubber cap that I took out there goes right in here, and there's a Phillips screw that clamps this carburetor to the actual crankcase. So by taking that rubber cap off here, you're able to get to that clamp. Otherwise, you've got to pull this cover. Well, you can't pull this cover because the carburetor is attached to it. So that's why they put that rubber cap on there. Take a flat screwdriver then, undo that clamp, that carburetor. Once you get the boot unhooked from this case, because that'll keep you from sliding it up, then you can pull this out. Now these oil lines, this oil line is no good, or this fuel line is no good. It's extremely brittle. So we're just going to take and kind of lift that off of there. And we might have to actually, well, we should be able to get it out there. And then that's just trash due to how stiff that is. So we've got your oil line or your oil cable coming through here. We've got throttle and cable. And it starts with a throttle. This is twist throttle here, goes up to the twist throttle on the handlebars, controls your throttle up and down there, and also goes to your oil line. So we'll go ahead and pull this cover here, and underneath this is where your oil pump sits. 3 Phillips screws will remove this cover. Your oil level on this motorcycle, checking the oil level, you'll fill it right here. We've got a fill plug here. You'll notice there's no dipstick on here, no way to tell how full your oil is. So what you do, 10 millimeter or a Phillips screw, remove this. Now when oil, with your bike setting flat, perfectly straight up and down, fill your oil up. When oil starts coming out of there, you put this plug back in and stop filling that oil. So this is called the oil level right here. So oil starts coming out, that's how you know it's exactly where it needs to be. All right, we've got an oil pump here. Here's your oil line running back here. So we'll remove that. We've got 2 Phillips screws that'll remove this oil pump. So we're gonna go ahead and take this line, and I might just undo that line now to get that out of the way. That takes a 8 millimeter to remove this line. You can pull the hose off there. Sometimes when they're this old, they're extremely brittle and difficult to come off there. So we've got a banjo bolt we can just take out here. And they call it a banjo because there's oil flows out the end of this this bolt here and goes through these orifices there. So just make sure you've got a crush washer on either side of that. Oil pump cable now, 10 millimeter wrench to loosen it here. And then we're able just to turn this, if you can see that, my hand's not in the way there. We're able just to turn that, that'll give us some slack there, lift the cable out and around that piece there, and then we can just unscrew it here. If you're cleaning that carburetor, you obviously want to pull that carburetor out. Some people think just spraying a carburetor off with some carbon choke cleaner or some compressed air is all you need to do. But you want to take that carburetor out, and then on a separate video, check my YouTube videos, you'll see us cleaning this carburetor, going through it and inspecting it, and then I'll explain it as we go. So keep your eye out for that. This carburetor is in really good shape. Just about got this. This got really tight here, so we're running up against this rubber damper here. and we might be able to just pull that rubber damper out. I don't want to break that cable. We're so close to. There we go. All right, everything comes out then. And then, like I said, we'll show you a video on how to clean this carburetor, remove these cables here on a separate video. So we got the carburetor off there. Now we've got our